Alright guys, Tuki here with a pretty shitty camera. Now I promise one of these days I'll turn this around, but as was requested in the comments of the last Red Wings GM mode, Pupper's Cam. Say hello to Emmy, this wonderful dog of mine who loves to ruin videos. Yes, you do. You love it more than anything. Not more than treats, right? Oh, look at, what was that word? Was that treat? Huh? Was that treat? Oh my goodness. It's the Pupper's Cam. There she goes. Let's figure this one out right over here. I'm sorry that you're looking at the floor, but that's okay. Where'd you go? There you are. Huh? What do you say to this? What do you say to the treat? And there you have it, guys. That was Emmy. Hope you enjoyed.
What's up, guys? Tuki here, back again. I hope you enjoyed that special little intro. Just know Emmy's actually sitting right over here off to my right. I'm hoping she stays quiet, though, because I need to focus all of my attention on this episode, because this is by far the most important episode yet, and will set the course for how the rest of this series is going to go. Because we have a decision to make. Ever since I started this series, of course, there have been comments. Sell, don't sell. Maybe don't sell after all. Definitely sell. Or in case of some comments, the word sell 57 times in a row. But the debate, it's been fairly equal, and people have had good arguments for both sides of what we should do. And it's been made a little bit more difficult because we are in the playoff race. We are currently in a wild card spot. And when you look at the standings, I believe we're 5 points out of the top 10 in the NHL. Let's see, we have 69 points. LOL. Yeah, we're 4 points. We are 4 points out of a top 10 spot. But is that sustainable? No, it isn't. Because we have that aging core. Our defense is a bit weak. Kronwall's, 36? Zetterberg's 35, 36. We know it's not going to last. So we need to do something about it today. And we are going to sell. Now, in saying that, are we going to go insane and get rid of everybody? Helm, Green, Nielsen, Abdelkader, Jonathan Erickson? No. We're going to make 3 trades today. 3 players are leaving the Detroit Red Wings. Jimmy Howard, Niklas Kronwall, and Henrik Zetterberg. Those are the 3 trades that we're going to make. Now, I hinted towards my idea, and I don't care if it's an original idea or not. I genuinely don't know if it's an original idea. Aside from Jimmy Howard, in which case I went through the entire league and found 3 teams that make sense, and you'll see who they are in a minute. For Zetterberg and Kronwall, what I did is I went through these top 10 teams. Whatever team makes sense, they go on the short list. And we will be deciding one way or another which one of these teams is selected. Now, I don't know if we'll get into any simming in this episode. It may just be these 3 trades. It depends on how quickly we can get it done. The reason why I say that is because I don't know how quickly these trades are going to be completed, because I don't yet know who we are trading these 3 players to, because those teams will be randomly decided. We are putting the names of the teams that make sense to trade these players to into a random selector, and just due to chance, or that's what it is. It is completely random. I don't know, and I haven't scouted out these teams beforehand. Why would I? Because what's the point of me wasting time to scout out the St. Louis Blues if they're never selected? So I don't yet know, as I record this, who I'm trading these players to and who I could possibly get back, aside from, of course, my knowledge of these teams to begin with. I won't waste any more of your time. Let's get into this, and let's figure out what our first trade is and who that player is going to. Alright guys, so here we go. It is time to decide where Jimmy Howard's future lies. The 3 teams that we are going to randomize from are the Calgary Flames, the New Jersey Devils, and the Dallas Stars. The Calgary Flames, they'd be doing us a favor, so we'd have to give up just a little bit more to make this deal work out. The Devils, it's about equal. They'd be doing us a favor, and they have the cap space to take on the contract of Howard, but we would also be handing them an improvement to be a tandem with Corey Schneider. Dallas, we'd be doing them a favor, no doubt about that, giving them who would eventually be their starting goaltender. So if I had to pick, I would prefer Dallas or New Jersey. It could very well be the Calgary Flames, but whatever team pops up is where we will trade Jimmy Howard to. So let's do this. Who's it going to be? And it is the Dallas Stars. Jimmy Howard. Jimmy Howard is heading out to Dallas. Let's get this deal done. And there you have it, guys. Jimmy Howard is off to the Dallas Stars. Before that, though, I wanted to show you why Calgary and New Jersey were on the list. Now, the Calgary Flames, they would have been doing us a favor. We would have gone after Brian Elliott, who is struggling, just like Howard this year, but he has 1 year left on his deal. So for us, it would have been a cap dump, and we would have been handing Calgary prospects and potentially picks to make that go through. So in a way, I'm kind of glad we avoided that. With New Jersey, we would have been going after Keith Kincaid, which, yes, they would have had an improvement on their backup, but they would have been taking the cap from us. So it would have been a bit more of an even trade where both teams were sacrificing a little bit, but both were getting a solid return. With the Dallas Stars, it's a little bit in our favor. It is, because we are going to be taking, I think, Antti Niemi away. We will have them go with Kari Lehtinen, who has been the better goalie for them this season. So what we're going to do is we're going to trade for Antti Niemi. Jimmy Howard will go there, and he'll probably be their starter right out of the gate, which is nice because Lehtinen is listed as a backup. So it's perfect for both teams, and I am very happy with the results of that. Now, the thing about Niemi is he does have 2 years left on his deal, so most likely I'm just going to bury him down in the AHL. We're still going to call up Jared Coro, and then I'm going to buy out Niemi's contract in the offseason because we should be able to afford it with Kronwall and Zetterberg off the books. So we're literally just picking him up to get rid of him and to do Dallas a favor. But in doing Dallas a favor, we are, of course, going to look to get some prospects or some picks. Now, Jimmy Howard does have a slightly larger cap hit, but again, that's what you get for an improved goalie on paper. Of course, Howard has struggled a bit this year, but you got to look at the trade values. We're looking all right. It's just a matter of who we are able to pick up. And actually, first things first, let me look at the draft picks. They do want to trade their picks, which is surprising. First rounders out of the question, but we might be able to pick up some extra draft picks. Who do they have for defensive prospects is my question. And I'd honestly say these guys are all out of the question. So that gives us someone like Martinet or Martinet. Fucking some names, man. You never know. You never know. But medium top six, probably not. Alexiak, high top six, but he's 24. No on Michaela, no on Vala. Unless he's a tack on Andre Vala, 18 years old, a high AHL top two at a 62 overall. You have Nick Ebert. So yeah, defensively it's not looking too great from the Dallas Stars. Vala might be a tack on. So we look at their forwards, and obviously some of these guys are out of the question. Devin Shore would be nice, but I think he is slightly out of the question. Of course, we don't want to trade draft picks in this situation. So, Jason Dickinson might not be a bad shout. 78 overall, 21 years old, medium top six forward potential. Radek Faksa, who has a slightly lowered morale, is also an option. He'll probably cap out at an 84 or an 85 overall, is my guess. But he still wouldn't be too bad of a player. Janmark, 24. We'll pass on him. Ellie, I think? Remy Ellie? I might be wrong on the pronunciation there. 21 years old, 74 overall, high bottom six. But he is listed as a fourth liner. So we'd probably have to put him on the fourth line for him to develop properly. That's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. Richie, 82 overall at 23. I'd rather go with Faxa. So if we were gonna go forwards, it would have to be, I think, Dickinson or Radek Faxa. Most likely. Yeah, that's who it would be. It would be Faxa or Dickinson. I'm going to say Dickinson as many times as I can in this episode. Dickinson. So let's see here. Obviously, he's more of a prospect. He might make the roster next year. Radek Faxa could be an immediate replacement in the lineup once Zetterberg is gone. Although, again, I, at this moment, don't know where Kronwall and Zetterberg are being traded to, nor do I know who the return is going to be. So that's kind of a problem, because I could say, okay, let's get a forward from Dallas and I'll get, a defenseman from who the hell knows. But that team might not have a defenseman, so I might have to get another forward. So I have to be really careful, and I just have to go with what trade makes the most sense. So if I were to pick Dickinson here, Dickinson. Let's see. I think that value is a bit too much. That value is a bit too much in their favor. That won't go through. At least I don't think it will. So let's see here. I'm not afraid to give up prospects, though. I need to decide first off which one of these two players I want. They're both centers. 2 years older, 5 overall points better is Radek Faxa. Pretty strong center. Not playing in the NHL this year and is on an expiring contract. Dickinson not playing in the NHL either. Still on his entry-level deal for 2 years. Or I could go with someone like Ellie, the defenseman Vala, and draft picks. So that's the question. Is what do I want to do? Damn. I mean, Faxa might be easier to get just because of his morale. Son of a bitch. Now this was the one thing I was scared about with this episode is I'm trying to figure out on the fly here. I could do jump cuts and just be like, okay, I found the trade, but we're not going to do that. We could get Dallas' second, maybe. Do I want to go for one of those two big players or just go for prospects who might make it? I think I want to go for one of these guys. Radek Faxa. He's not happy there, so we might be able to get this to work. Now, there was a prospect, Marsh, that someone mentioned in the comments, and you know who you are, and I'm sorry if, that I don't remember your name offhand or if I don't put the comment in the episode, but you know who you are, and this was you. 60 overall at 19 years old, high AHL top 6. He's not signed, but we should be able to get rid of him. And then we also have someone like Vahatalo, 21 years old. So can we get rid of both of these guys? Do they have space? Yes, they do. And that pushes it back in our favor. So then maybe from here, we could add draft picks? This is looking all right. This is looking okay. How about a third and a fifth? So it would be Jimmy Howard for Niemi, in which case I still say it's slightly in our favor. The extra cap, yes, but he is better on paper. 2 prospects for a player they're not using, and a couple of picks. And you know what? I'm actually going to tack on another pick here. I know that's kind of cheap. We'll do another 5th next year, just in case, because I feel like that might go through. If that goes through, I'm content with it, but let's see. And it did. You know what? Maybe we could have gotten more out of that. I'm not sure. But overall, I think I'm content with that. Jimmy Howard, Vahatalo, and Marsh to Dallas for Radek Faxa, Niemi, and a handful of picks. Probably could have gotten some better picks out of that. But like I said, I'm content with it. I am content with that. And Radek Faxa is the newest member of the Detroit Red Wings. Now, I'll figure out the lineup after, because of course we still have some more work to do. Let's find out what our next trade is. There are 5 teams out of the top 10 that would be a fit for Niklas Kronwall. Let's see where he is going. Either the Tampa Bay Lightning, the New York Rangers, the New York Islanders, the St. Louis Blues, or the Buffalo Sabres. Let's find out. And Kronwall is off to Tampa. He will be the newest member of the Lightning. Imagine a Hedman-Kronwall first pairing. That might happen. That will happen, as he is off to Tampa. Right. Okay. I was kind of hoping to not have to deal with Steve Yzerman, although obviously, in the game it's not anything like that. But this could be interesting. I thought we might have to retain salary cap, but then again, they did just make those trades. No Ben Bishop, so we should be okay. But I might still retain salary cap anyway, because they will probably... they do have some players that they have to re-sign. So we could look to get picks, which is good. Nice that they're wanting to trade picks. Forward-wise, they got some good prospects. Point, Howden, Stevens, Kachuk, Radish, Sorelli. Some big names that were in the World Juniors this year. We'll hold off on that. I think those are a step too high for us. But Vladimir Nemesnikov is somebody we could get. And that's what I was talking about. If I knew he was an option, I might not have gotten Radek Faksa. I might have just gone for draft picks from Dallas. He's having a half-decent year, though. Still on a solid contract for 2 years. We also have Adam Earn. Is it Ernie or Earn? I'm going to say Earn because it sounds less funny. But he's still on his entry-level deal for 2 years. Dennis Yan, medium top 9, though, not ideal. You got Joseph, who I also think was on the Canadian World Junior team this year. High bottom 6. Otto Sompi, also an option. Okay. So some decent prospects there. Defensively, what are we looking at? Jake Dotchin would be a fucking dream to get. 80 overall, 22 years old. Obviously, I think in real life in the NHL this year, he's done very well for Tampa. You got Slater Cuckoo, Libor Hayek, Cernak, who of course they got from the LA Kings. Matt Spencer's a 78. I didn't put him over 70 overall. I can tell you that much right now. I obviously edited the potential. Wow. He might have gone up at least 10 overall points since the start of this sim. Holy shit, we might have to get him. Even if he's in junior and we won't be able to use him this year. He's gone up at like 10 overall points. Holy shit. Alright, I might have just found our option. You also have Mason, or Mason even. Might be Mason. I'm not sure, just because, his name's Dominic and he's from the Czech Republic. So let's see. Our options are Spencer, Hayek, Dotchin, maybe. Dotchin might be a bit too much in terms of value. Slater Cuckoo, he is 23 though. He is 23 on an expiring deal. Now we did just pick up a forward. Nemesnikov wouldn't be too bad. Earn wouldn't be too bad either. So 21, 80 overall. 22, 80 overall. 23 and 83. Hayek is 19. I gotta go for Spencer, man. I have to. That progression is insane. Now that looks slightly even, if not slightly in our favor. So we might be able to do a little bit more here. Maybe in terms of picks. Maybe not. Let's go for picks. Not for players, but in terms of picks, we might be able to do something. Would that go through? Kronwall for Spencer, a 3rd and a 5th. I'd be alright if it did. We'll have to sweeten it just a touch. We're close. We are close. Okay, I'm cool with this. This is working out well so far. What if I also tack on a 7th round pick next year? Will that go through for Niklas Kronwall? Just a bit low. Okay, will that go through? Nope, still just a bit low. Okay. But we're making progress. How about 2 7ths over the next 2 years? Because they're just throwaway picks anyway. Will that go through? No. Will that go through? At the end of the day... Really? You're going to deny Kronwall because you might lose Greg McKegg? Oh, fucking hell. Can we have... Alright, well, let's... Shit, we're going to have to get Greg McKegg. That's what that means. Alright. Please be on a 1-year deal. Oh, thank God. Okay, I can handle that if he's on a 1-year deal. That is going to screw up the draft pick situation a little bit, but we can make it work. We can make it work. Can I still get a third and a seventh out of this? Probably not. No. What if I retain a little bit of salary, though, on Kronwall, as I was discussing? Will that go through? No. Alright, let's just keep bumping this up. I'm willing to retain salary because we're going to be fine. Still not interested. We'll just keep bumping up the retention. We're at 21%, $1 million. No, okay, we're going to make this work, damn it. We're going to make this work. No, man, come on, Stevie. You're a Detroit legend. Don't make me curse you out. Alright, so we're at 32%. Let's go to 35%. Damn. Alright, so I'm going to drop that back down to 1.5. What if I take off the 7th? No. So now that third round pick is a bit too high of an ask. I don't want to trade away any picks, but can I get rid of a contract here? Because we do need to offload some guys so I can sign those AHL players. Matt Laredo? What if I tack him on? What if I tack on Matt Laredo and then we add a 7th round pick again? How does that sound to them? I hate how it fucking glitches that out. Will that go through? Kronwall and Laredo for Spencer, McKegg, a 3rd and a 7th? No. Will that go through now? No. Shit. I really want that 3rd round pick. I do. I mean, and we're retaining salary on Kronwall. I mean, yeah, I know we're going after a pretty decent prospect in Spencer, but still, come on, Eiserman. Do me a favor here, would you? How about, can I tack on Nosek? No, they'd have too many skaters. Okay. So I really want that 3rd. Can we afford it, is the question. Actually, do we have anybody that's unsigned? And for the record, there is absolutely no simming being done in this episode. We are already getting up there in time. But I do like the challenge of this. I do. And hopefully you guys are finding it interesting. But boy, am I struggling here to get a deal done. How about our 7th this year? How does that make you feel? It doesn't, apparently. How about a 5th from... Buffalo is in 10th. So how about a 5th from Buffalo? No. Okay, that 3rd round pick's not going to happen. I'm giving up on it. That 3rd round pick's not going to happen. A 4th, a 6th, and a 6th next year. Will that go through? Holy shit, it wouldn't. Steve Eiserman. Stevie, you're really screwing me here, pal. You know it's your job to screw other GMs over, but goddamn, come on. You know you want Kronwall. You know you want him on your team. Imagine, okay, sweeten it just a touch. You know you want Kronwall on your team. You know you do. So how about I give you a 7th next year? Kronwall, I keep struggling to say it. Kronwall, Laredo, it's because there's 3 L's in a row if you say Laredo right after. And a 7th for Spencer, McKegg, a 4th, and a 7th. Still low. Damn. Oh, Stevie, this episode might be titled, I Hate Steve Eiserman. Will this go through? Are you fucking kidding? God, Stevie, you're killing me. How about our 5th next year? Will this go through? It would. Am I all right with this? Kronwall with a little bit of retained salary, AHL or Matt Laredo, and a 5th this year or a 5th next year for prospect Matt Spencer, Greg McKegg, a 4th and a 7th. Matt Spencer would be the gem of this deal, and I think he's going to be just that. We're going for it. Kronwall is off to Tampa. Matt Spencer, welcome to Detroit. All right. We have 1 player left, unless I decide to do some minor deals so that we can sign those AHL guys. Niklas Kronwall is gone. Let's move forward. 1 big name left. And it's time for the moment that most Wings fans, I would say, never wanted to see happen. Henrik Zetterberg Where is he going to be traded to? Now, we could run into a problem here. If Tampa is selected, I don't know if the Lightning will be able to afford, getting Henrik Zetterberg after already acquiring Niklas Kronwall. So we have to hope. We have a good chance of it not being Tampa, but that would be disastrous for us. Let's find out who's it going to be. And it is the Washington Capitals. I'll take it. Henrik Zetterberg to the Washington Capitals. This might be tough, and it's almost certain that we're going to have to retain some salary, but we'll see what we can do. Henrik Zetterberg. Now, immediately, we're going to have to bring on somebody that has a little bit of a cap hit. So let's see here. Lars Eller. No thank you. Justin Williams, maybe. Oh, Daniel Winnick. Daniel Winnick's perfect. 1 year left, 2.135. All right, that's not bad. Yeah, we'd still have to retain a little bit. Well, I'm all right with retaining. Is there anybody else we can pick up on a 1 year deal? No, because it ends at Jay Beagle. Okay, so Daniel Winnick's a start. We're just going to have to retain some salary here as we will go into Washington's out of the red. Will that work? Nope, it's doing the fucking bullshit glitch where it's like, oh, no, you need to retain even more, which is fine. What the fuck? God, I hate how it does that. What the fuck? How much do I have to retain here? It's so stupid. Just tell me accurately the first time. All right, that's fine. Can I go down even more? How far can I scroll that? Okay, that's too far. That's no. Okay, 185 apparently is the magic number. Okay, so now we can go to work here and find out whether or not it's prospects or picks that we're getting back. So let's take a look. Vrana and Burakovsky might be options. Jakub Vrana? Is the V silent? I don't know. I do not know. But not too bad. 20 years old, medium top, 679 overall. We also have Andre Burakovsky, who's an 84 at 22 years old, having a decent season, although he'll be looking for a big contract next year. Pylon, medium top 9. I'm not really interested. And from there, it really drops off. So for forwards, it would be Vrana or Burakovsky. Defensively, Jonas Siegenthaler, probably too expensive. Bendulis, who is one of the NCAA guys, probably too much. Lucas Johansson, 19 years old, 67 overall, medium top 4. Madison Bowie is also an option, 21 years old, a 78 overall. Still on his entry-level deal. Could go for someone like Nate Schmidt if we wanted to, but I don't think he's going to get any better. And from there, it drops off with Hobbs and Christian Jews. So for forwards, it's Vrana or Burakovsky. For defensemen, it's Bowie and Johansson. Right. And then for draft picks, they are willing to get rid of draft picks. So far, we have brought in Faxa and Matt Spencer. Fax is immediately in the lineup. Spencer is not. So it might be better to go for a defenseman again. I mean, we could go for whatever here, realistically. I mean, we don't necessarily want to go for the first. I mean, we could, but we know it's going to be a high pick. And there is a very strong chance, that the Caps will win the Stanley Cup this year. So we could go Johansson, Bowie, who is currently injured, or we could go Burakovsky or Vrana. All right, you know what? Let's look at all skaters, and let's see who has the lowest value. It's Vrana, Johansson, Burakovsky, and Bowie. They're all pretty much equal. It looks like there's a slight difference maybe between Bowie and Vrana. Oh, so let's see here. He got 19, 20, 21, and 22 for ages. So Vrana has a good shot already, good puck skills, good offensive awareness. Like, he's there. It's just defensive and physically that drags him down, but he could make the team next year. He could absolutely make the team next year. Johansson's definitely more of a project, which is fine. He was Washington's first-round pick in 2018. Burakovsky is already, obviously, NHL ready. And then Madison Bowie. A little bit of a step away. Good physical category in skating, but everything else still needs work. So the defensemen are definitely... So Bowie's a project. Johansson's like a real project. Burakovsky's NHL ready. And then you have Vrana, who is just a step away. I mean, if we could get Andrei Burakovsky, why wouldn't we, right? And he would be the immediate replacement, too. Henrik Zetterberg would step right in for him. Now, that looks a little bit too one-sided in our favor. But I'm just going to do a test here, as I tend to do. Let's see, if I tack on a third, what's their reaction to this? The value's too far off. What if I just... Oh, well, I hit propose trade and still didn't go through. Okay. Okay, let's see. This might be a chance to offload somebody else that we don't necessarily need. Like Nosek, we're going to have to hold on to Greg McKegg. But Nosek, and then I could tack on Jordan Sambrook. I mean, he's high 7th, so it's tough to tell what he'll actually be. 5th round pick of Detroit's. High 7th at 1864. I mean, it might help make this go through. I forgot to hit the X button on him. So let's see. So that definitely pushed it into our favor. Can they take another contract aside from that? Because if they can take one more contract, I'm willing to do it to clear out the space. How would you guys like a nice, shiny Brian Lashoff? You wouldn't. Okay. So Zetterberg, Sambrook, Nosek, Burakovsky, and Winnick on the other side. Let's see here. For picks, if I tack on a 2nd and a 4th, what is their reaction? What is their reaction to that? Didn't go through. Okay. If I tack on a 6th, what is their reaction to that? Still didn't go through. Okay. How about... I'm just trying to gauge as to whether or not we can get that 2nd round pick. I don't think we can. All right. How about a 3rd, 2 thirds, and a 6th this year? What's your reaction to that? Still not great. How about just 2 thirds? No. Okay. Well, see, you got to do this tinkering. You got to see if you can get it to work. Winnick, Burakovsky, 2 thirds. I'm willing to give up lower picks. I'm willing to, because we're already getting towards the point where we might end up with too many picks. How about that Chicago 6th? Will that go through? No. Shit. I'm just trying to get to the point where it's like, oh, you're close to getting this deal completed. Just trying to figure out what that level is. And apparently 2 thirds is still way too much. All right, so a 3rd. How about a 3rd and 2 fourths? What's your reaction to that? Still not great. Burakovsky might be asking. That might be asking for too much. It just might be. What's your reaction to this? Nope. Okay. Oh, boy. Right. I'd like to get Burakovsky, but that might not happen. That might not happen. What do they think of this? Nope. What do they think of that? Still no. Okay. Okay, how about we tack on a 6th next year? Is that 3rd round pick too much to ask for? It very well could be. And that's close to fair value. Okay. Okay. So I think if we were to do 2 sevenths, I think they'd accept that. So Henrik Zetterberg, Sambrook, Nosek, for Daniel Winnick, Andrei Burakovsky, and basically a 3rd round pick. Is Andrei Burakovsky worth the return of Henrik Zetterberg? That would be the hope. That would be the hope. 22 years old, still has room to grow into an elite scorer. I mean, his stats are already pretty solid. Or do we want to hedge our bets, place our bets on Vrana? I think we're going to go for this, guys. Will it go through? Nope, slightly off. Will it go through now? Still slightly off. Okay, shit. Just the 3rd? No. God damn, they're looking for a lot. They are looking for a lot, but you got to give up a lot to get a lot back. Our 7th round pick this year. Actually, would rather give up Tampa's 7th round pick. It'll be even lower down the chart. Will that go through? No, it won't. Okay, man, the tinkering continues. How about Chicago's 6th, because they are in a pretty good spot? Still no. Oh, these GMs are so stingy on this hard difficulty. 5th round pick from Buffalo. Oh, they'd have to put Tom... Not again! Oh, shit. Oh, we'd have to put Tom Wilson on waivers, and the whole deal just fell apart. And that's why a lot of times, particularly during the off-season videos, I'll just be like, okay, here are these trades, because this is what happens. This is what happens. Although I know some people like to see the struggle. But now we need to take on another fucking guy here. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's 12. 12. Okay. Defensively, 7. Right. Okay. So I really don't want to have to acquire Tom Wilson. I really don't. I honestly don't get why they'd have to send him down. Because right there, they'd be at 12 people. Then they'd be at 11. And then with Zetterberg, they'd be right back up to 12 people on the roster for forwards. Was it because of Nosek? Although he's on an AHL deal? Or he's on a two-way deal at least. Why did that fall apart? Why would they? I don't understand why they'd have to place Tom Wilson on waivers. If you guys see what I'm saying. Because right here, there are 12 people, right? All with the NHL tag. Those are the only 12 guys. They also have 7 defensemen. So if you take 2 away, obviously, Winnick and Burakovsky, you're down to 10. And then you add Zetterberg, you're only at 11. I don't understand that. But I think that just ruined our chance of getting Andre Burakovsky. Because now we have to go for someone who's off the roster. Which means Vrana or Bowie. Because I don't want to go for Johansson. So do I want the forward help or the defensive help? And seeing as we already picked up Radek Faksa, tough to say. Tough to say. Vrana or Bowie? I'm gonna try for Vrana because we've had Bowie in previous series of mine. Let's see if we can figure out a way to get this to work. Now, if I put a 3rd on there, it's going to be asking for too much. I am going to tag Nosek onto this deal, though. This episode's going to be ridiculous. Oh my god. Will that go through? If it does, I'm alright with it. No, it wouldn't. So I'm alright with adding Jordan Sambrook back to this deal. I'm alright with that. Let's see. I'm gonna tag on more picks here though, just to make sure. Let's go over to 2017. How about a 4th and a 6th? What are your feelings on this, Washington? Not tremendous. What about this? Still not great. Okay. Shit. Hello, dog. How are you? That still won't go through either. Oh my god. The Capitals are just relentless. Will this go through? No. Oh my god. I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss here, guys. I don't know what to do. I mean, that looks like it should go through on paper, but they don't want to trade Winnick or Vrana. That's where the problem lies. But this is the hand we were dealt. This is the trade we have to make. That's apparently close to fair value. Would that work? Zetterberg, Sambrook, and Nosek for Winnick, Vrana, and a 6th. Still close to fair value. Fuck, it's a 6th round pick, you cunts. You're gonna win the cup this year. Come on. 2 7ths. Still not. 1 7th. God, will that go through straight up? How is that less? How is that less? I took off all the picks and now it's even further away? God, this game. Oh my god. Have Tampa Bay as 7th. Please. How did I get further away by adding draft picks to my offer and taking them away from theirs? EA, you care to explain that? Oh my god. Holy shit. And again, they'd have to put Tom Wilson on waivers. That doesn't make sense. You only have one player on an NHL deal coming through the pipeline. Would this work? Yeah, you don't say it's quite close to fair value. If we add the Buffalo 5th, will that go through? At this point, I just want this deal done. Oh my god. Take the Tampa Bay 4th, you fucks. And again, they'd have to put Tom Wilson on waivers. Holy shit, guys. I don't know what to do here aside from obviously having to pick up Tom Wilson, apparently. That doesn't make sense. Literally doesn't make sense. At all. But whatever. Holy shit. He's on a 2-year deal. Whatever. So if we were to pick him up, how much salary cap would we have to retain from the Zetterberg deal so that we don't have to put Winnick on there? Alright, so not too much more. That's good. I'm sorry for the menu moving so quickly. Alright, so we'd have to bump it up to 2.1. Would this go through straight up? Wilson and Verana for Zetterberg? No. Alright. Can I tack on? No, I can't wait for it to tell me that I need Daniel Winnick, too. I'm just trying to get a deal done at this point, guys. That's it. That's it. I mean, there's only so much chipping away you can do before this game breaks your spirit and just forces you to make a stupid trade. That still wouldn't go through. Holy fuck. Alright, so we have to use Jordan Sambrook in this deal. We have to. There's apparently no other way to get this done. Holy shit. I'm going to just tack on one other pick just to make sure here. But, goddamn. Here, how about a 5th? What do you think of that? No? Okay, how about that? Wow. Oh my god, this is brutal. This is absolutely brutal. What the hell? Will this go through? Now they'd have to put Winnick on waivers. Okay, so we have to get Wilson and Winnick. We have to get Wilson, and we have to get Daniel Winnick. God damn it. That's all I can say is god damn it. I don't know what to do. For the love of God, let's just get this done. At this point, I don't even care what we get in return. I just want to not see Henrik Zetterberg on this team. So let's go. Tom Wilson and Daniel Winnick. Between that's quite a bit of salary. But we might be able to make this work. I'm going to try to get Sambrook out of this deal because screw the Caps. They don't deserve him. I'll trade him elsewhere. I will trade him elsewhere. I will see, though, if we can keep Nosek here. Oh, my God. Our return for Henrik Zetterberg is going to be god-awful. But that's the hand we were dealt with the Washington Capitals showing up. I'm going to actually try a second here. Let's try a second. Can I lower that at all? Yes, I can. Beautiful. How much can I lower the retained salary cap by? Quite a bit, which is good. Which is very, very good. How far down the totem pole can I go here in terms of retained salary? Can I go all the way? In which case, that would be awesome. All right, let's go all the way back down to 0 for retained salary. What's that looking like? Nope. Okay, so we're going to have to retain some salary. What's the magic number here, Washington? What is the magic number? Magic number is 550. Will this go through straight up? Zetterberg and Nosek for Wilson, Winnick in a second. No. Shit. Okay, what if we tack on a nice shiny 5th round pick from Buffalo? Still no. Okay. That 2nd round pick isn't going to happen. We are literally trading Henrik Zetterberg for peanuts because we have no other choice. 2/3. Still no. How about a 3rd and a 5th? How about that? They have to put Jay Beagle on waivers. Do I have to take the entire Washington Capitals team? Oh my god. Oh my God. What is happening? I thought we'd be in a good spot. And we are just being ruined. Ruined by the Caps here. Holy shit. Will that go through straight up? Zetterberg and Nosek for Wilson, Winnick, and Jay Beagle? That now we have to add to the trade. This is a disaster. This is an absolute disaster. What if we tack on Holmstrom? Quite close to fair value. Holmstrom is medium bottom 6, right? Yeah, so I'm content to get rid of him. I just want this deal to get done, guys. This is what I was afraid of, but it's a good example. We were dealt a shit hand by the randomizer. That still won't go through. Okay, and somehow that was even worse than the previous offer. How about Calgary's 6th? Nope. Okay, yep, and somehow we're even further away than we were before. Not sure how that works out. The Buffalo 5th? Fair value, we're quite close, apparently. So how about the Buffalo 5th and the Chicago 6th? Will that go through? Or am I going to have to retain and have to place Tom Gilbert on waivers? Oh my God. I don't know what to do. We actually might not be able to trade Henrik Zetterberg here. We might not be able to do it. At least not to this team. Tom Gilbert, come on down. Will that go through? This is absurd. This is Is it because I have no second Holmstrom here? Because I can trade them to somebody else. Oh my God. Alright, you know what? I have an idea. Jordan Sambrook. You are the guy. You are the guy to make this work. For the love of God, please be the guy to make this work. This is not what I was expecting to happen in this episode. That's for damn sure. Will this work? No. Alright, we're just going to keep scrolling through the draft picks until we figure this out. That would work. Oh my God. We have a chance here. Henrik Zetterberg and Jordan Sambrook for Tom Wilson, Daniel Winnick, Jay Beagle, and Tom Gilbert. And a 4th. Don't forget that 4th. Guys, that is the hand that we were dealt. That is the hand that we were dealt. And I have to do what I have to do. We're taking this deal. At least we don't have to retain any salary on Zetterberg. Wow. You know, I expected to have some difficult trades. I expected to have to make some difficult trades. I didn't expect that. Not one bit. Holy hell. Alright, let's see here. I'll call up Tom Gilbert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, Tom Gilbert's fine. Sproul will probably make the team next year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, well, McKegg can be sent down. Hopefully one of those two gets claimed. Maybe. Nope, Niemi's still there. Did Greg McKegg make it? Yes, he did. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. So let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 1, 2, 3. 3 too many people. All right. I mean, we could send down Faxa, but I don't want to. Oh my God. I'm not sure what to do here. Our team is just overloaded with players right now because of that. And like I said, that obviously was not the plan. We can look to send down certain players that are on 1-year deals that we don't plan on keeping anyway. That was... Man, this game chugged there for a second. So let's see. Who is scratched by default? Faxa, Beagle, and Bertuzzi. Beagle, we have to keep. Bertuzzi, we can probably send down and get away with it. Glendenning's on a monster deal. Tom Wilson's here for 2 years. It's looking like Daniel Winnick, Bertuzzi, and we'll just have to keep we'll have to keep somebody else up here on the roster. We have no choice. This is crazy. Oh my God. The complete opposite of what I wanted to happen too, based on the contracts. All right, so Bertuzzi and Winnick. Winnick might get claimed. If he does, whatever. And Daniel Winnick was claimed. Okay, it's probably better than having him pissed off. But I had no choice. We had to send down Daniel Winnick. I mean, we could have kept him on the team scratch, but he would have gotten pissed off about it. So, I mean, I don't know. We didn't have to send him down, but we did. And he's out. Radek Faksa is now the main scratch, which isn't ideal. Not ideal at all. So we'll probably scratch him for Jay Beagle. Holy shit, this situation just changed drastically. All right, really quickly. I said I was only going to make 3 trades. Let's see if we can get rid of some depth really quick. We're just going to try to trade people for absolutely nothing, just to get rid of them and to free up some spots. Because, again, I still want to sign some of those AHL guys. So, Brian Lashoff. Who needs a depth defenseman for nothing for 1 year? How about Buffalo? You're a good team. You could use a depth defenseman, right? I know we've done some dealings with you already. But how about a nice shiny 4th round pick for Brian Lashoff? All right, apparently that's too much. How about a nice 5th round pick next year and a 6th this year for Brian Lashoff? Nope, okay. Probably getting a bit too greedy, but I got to recoup some of these assets somehow after Washington just had their way with us. A 5th and a 7th for Brian Lashoff. That's fine by me. That is fine by me. These players are going to get pissed at the amount of turnover. Too bad. Too damn bad. Defensively, who else was there? Who else? McElrath. We'll probably trade Robbie Russo too now that he's up to 24. So, McElrath, how would you like to go to the Chicago Blackhawks? You'd love to be a Blackhawk. You're probably going to get a ring this year. Or you'll lose to Washington in the final after they just molested us. 4th and a 6th for McElrath? Lovely. I'm sure they'll be cheering in the streets. That's fine by me. Chicago fans are used to cheering in the streets after all, so what's one more occasion? Holy hell. Defensively, who else can we get rid of? We need to clear out some of these contracts. We got to keep Gilbert, so Russo is the next one on the way out. How would you like to go to the Florida Panthers? The Florida Panthers, who are a pretty solid team. How about a nice 3rd round pick and a little bit more? We'll take a 6th rounder next year for Robbie Russo. Sound good? Thank you. That works for me. Oh my god. This episode will, aside from like the fantasy draft where we actually did the draft, this will be the longest episode by far. No sec. Where would you also like to be a Florida Panther? How does that sound? You get to go enjoy the nice weather down in Florida instead of the lovely Detroit weather. I'll trade you for a 6th and a 7th next year. How does that sound? Thank you. Yeah, no brainer. You don't say. I feel like I'm without a brain at this point. So Nosek is gone. Let's just keep getting rid of these insignificant players that really aren't going to be a factor. Is it a little bit cheap to be clearing them all out like this? Maybe. But was it a little bit cheap of Washington to just screw us over like they did? I would say so. So Holmstrom and Tangrady are the last 2 that we can get rid of. Is there a team that works? The New York Islanders, you're a good team. You could use a little bit of depth. Let's see if we can get this to go. How about a nice 3rd and a 5th next year for Tangrady and Holmstrom? That went through. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So, we go best lines again. We take a look at how many draft picks we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We need to get rid of some picks. We could do that now or at the draft. We will do it now. So, who sucks this year? Who is terrible? Vancouver, you're not that terrible, but you're also not great. How about a 7th round pick next year? 2 7ths for a 7th next year. Thank you. That's, yeah, we just kind of screwed ourselves over there, but that's okay. 1, 2, all right, so that's 12. We also have the rule of no more than 3 picks in a round. So we got to get rid of a 3rd round pick. We will do that at the draft. we'll clear out the rest of these picks at the draft. Hopefully that sounds good to everybody, because that's what we're doing. Because that's going to take time in and of itself. So, as we look to wrap up this episode, let's go send some free agent offers for the rest of the year. Holy shit, this episode. All right. So let's go. We need Cleary. We need Campbell as forwards. And we need Ford. So you are the right Campbell, correct? Yes, you are. Colin Campbell. 1-year deal. 5.75, two-way. Thank you. And remember, I'm signing these guys so that we can cut them, and that clears out the AHL team. Dan Cleary, have fun coming back to Detroit. We need to sign Ford. Matthew Ford, where are you at? There you are. We'll get you for a 1-year deal. Defenseman, we need Allen, Cato, and Paish. There is Allen, 1-year deal. We need Cato or Kaito. I don't care what your name is because you're going to be gone, as soon as possible. God, man, if you guys are watching this episode at this point, you are my favorite people. You really are. I hate episodes being anything over 20 minutes, which happens all the time. Anything over half an hour is like anxiety-inducing. This episode's going to be nearly an hour. So that's not my normal deal, especially for just a trade deadline episode. But now you know the struggles of don't tell me my game just froze. Holy shit, that was a mini heart attack in itself. Oh my god, Cal Heater is the last guy that we need to sign for the rest of the year. Those are the 7 players. Let's see if we can sign them up. And then we are done. We'll get the roster figured out in the next episode. We'll get the draft pick situation figured out in the next episode. Most likely I probably won't wait until the draft. And who knows, we might still make the playoffs. We did add some additions at the NHL level. Cleary, Paish, Ford, Heater, Allen, Campbell, Kaito. That is all of them. That is all of them. So we have them signed. Like I said, we will figure out the lineup in the next episode. One of these players has to be a healthy scratch. It'll probably be Jay Beagle. We'll keep Tom Wilson because he still has some potential. So Jay Beagle will probably be the depth player, the healthy scratch. Although he's having a half decent year. But yeah, and then we'll just look to trade him at the draft. That way, of course, Radek Faxer can come into the lineup. The AHL has changed drastically. This whole team has changed drastically. A crazy idea comes up with results in some crazy results. Guys, this episode's gone on long enough. I thank you so much if you have watched this whole thing. Again, I thank you for the support. If you enjoyed, of course, support the video, support the channel, support me in any way you deem necessary. And I will see you guys in the next one, where, who knows, we might be a playoff team after all of this.